make sure that the live stream get monetized and triumvirate.
All right, we're live. Yeah. Good welcome morning, every evening, guys.
I wonder where you learned that from. Huh.
Nobody even knows.
Don't hurt me.
Why do you say that?
Who's getting who demonetized here? What's welcome.
I seem so bad. I couldn't possibly demonetize us.
Yeah, they would try, but like, wait, no, we can't really.
They would throw more money at us to get me to stop singing.
I don't even know who to give the money to. Like, this is what was that?
Give it to the triumvirate, just the channel there.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Let me check and make sure my thing is going live here.
Your thing is there. Thank you, thing. So yeah, we're on the Triumvirate YouTube channel. We're on my X. We're streaming to those two places right now.
Yeah, we're on your X, all right. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab it from I couldn't get mine to work because I came in so late that the link that the special link you gave me didn't work anymore because the show had already started or whatever.
Oh wait, maybe I can still add it.
It's fine. I'll just get the link from Cat's profile.
We are all live now.
So how about that rocket launch, guys? Did you watch the SpaceX?
Yeah, the banana, launch? The launch to banana.
Yep.
I think does that mean we're officially in the banana zone? Is that like according to Raoul Powell?
I guess everything's bananas with SpaceX.
Yeah, but they couldn't catch. They aborted the catch. That's sad.
Yeah, they just something didn't quite show up right, and then so they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't see the thing on Cats. Oh, here it is. Just copy this. Let's repost this. Oops.
I just posted it just now. So
okay, let me just reload my.
I see it there. We are live.
Hi everybody. Sorry, we're scrambling around.
3 minutes of boringness.
Actually, watch the show.
All right, Matt. Let's talk about the market, which is why we're here. Yeah.
So I mean, I've been mentioning these levels for eons now, for decades and centuries, it feels like. And finally, it got back tested, right? So I've been mentioning, yes, possible back test of the IWM 786. That's at 226.74. It hit there perfectly. With the QQQ, same situation. It hit the 497, perfect back test, and it's bouncing. SPY, perfect back test, 1.618 fib from the 2021 or 22 high, right? So all of these, they hit their support, and it's right in time for everything to possibly just rally together, like we were saying on Friday of last week. And now that the miners are recovering a little bit and everything seems to be going in the right direction, maybe everything with NVIDIA earnings tomorrow, maybe it's time for everything to finally rally together. What do you say, Kat?
What about the crash? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me just do this real quick.
should we
sponsored by Meet Kevin?
Yeah, should we load up on puts? Is that
yeah? There, it's going back. SPY is going back to $7. So, because I drew an arrow, that means it's true.
Not financial advice. Yeah, we're kidding. We don't think that we don't think anything's happening except a tremendous rally coming for 2025.
Yeah, and what about Palantir too? Like Palantir, there was people on Fast Money on CNBC yesterday talking about basically shorting this stock. I'm not even joking. They were talking about shorting it. And yeah. So essentially that is not looking like a good possibility because Palantir looks really good. Really, really bullish, right? Really bullish.
Yeah, I would not short this thing with a 10-foot pole. I mean, that's not. Yeah.
I tagged you guys in a funny little post this afternoon. Did you guys see it? The one with the cat looking at a chart of Palantir. It's all green, and there's this tiny little bit of red that goes down. It's like, why is it going down?
Yeah. Well, that's the mentality with everybody. Like XRP is doing the same thing, like just consolidating. Like, oh, why is it going down now? Like, oh, come on now, really? like it just had a 100% move or even more, and now it's just consolidating. People need to like put things into perspective better, but it's the CNBC guys, the fast money. Like literally, there are people on there. The guys on the show are saying it's a good idea to sell it and short it. I think it's just it's a plan to steal your shares after hours. That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not they're like super smart and they're like doing the exact opposite of what they're saying, or are they like just saying that because their friends want to have them say that on TV, or are they just like actually doing it? I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly don't know either, but basically that's just like the worst advice you could give on national television, so I don't understand that idea at all. But anyways, with that being said, what are we doing next here, guys?
Let me just show you a quick little story. If you pull me up on the screen, I want to show my Palantir. So I had the hardest time trying to chart Palantir, but as soon as one of your people said, "Oh, I'm buying PTIR," it's a Granite Shares 2x long of Palantir. I said, "Oh, well, let me look at that." And this thing was so much easier to chart. It's like, oh,
what do you
could have done?
What do you mean, you people? No, I'm just
So anyway, yeah, it's like, oh, well, this is the chart it should have had. So off of this, the all-time low of 23.31. This is the PTIR now. All-time low to right here to right there. There's your wave 1, your wave 2, and then the wave 1, the wave 3 sub 1 sub 2 that I would have looked for would be the 764.382, then 1382. But what it got was a 161, and it just kind of skipped the whole 1-2 here. And then now here's the fourth wave, and now it's sort of an extended fourth, It's just the wave 2 was like non-existent, so the wave 4 is extra long. And I can't remember, Matt, if I did this in the show this morning or not, but I got this great parabolic tool, and you can kind of see why the theory of alternation in Elliott waves works. If the wave 2 is longer, then it like pushes this out. And then by the time you get to wave 3, there's not much room for this wave 4. So the wave 4 is shorter if the wave 2 is longer. But if the wave 2 is shorter, then that means there's going to be more, like the wave 4 has got to fill out the rest of this horizontal space. So this wave 4 for Palantir has been really long. That's why it was in that range for the longest time, and then finally moved up, and then now it's kind of coming back down. All it's doing is it's an extended wider flat of the 4. I'm still looking for a wave 5 up to finish at the 2618, because the wave 3 finished higher than 1618. The wave 5 will finish at or higher than 2618. So I'm looking for 121 for the PTIR, and that informed me on how to handle Palantir after that. I said, oh, okay, so it's just an extended wider flat of the wave. Sorry, I was already making like what would be if this was wave 2. So extended wider flat of the, come here, you. I just want to, this point right here. Extended wider the flat of the 4, and then, so the 5 will give us this one here, maybe slightly higher than 2618. Right here in like the $83 to $85 zone, and then look for an ABC retrace, and then we'll get that $100 target that you got for September next year. So anyway, yeah, I wouldn't short this thing. It's once it's done going sideways for a little bit while longer, it's going to go up to 83 to 85. That's you've been palantold by the tracker.
Yes. Well, I didn't want to Palantir it, okay? But you
or what do you guys want to talk about next? I've got stories. I guess go ahead.
Cat wants to do Palantir.
Yeah, there are a lot of bears that are going to have a lot of Palantirs. Is that what you're saying?
Ooh, I like that one.
I got the monthly bull in Japan here. You know how I like to look at the monthly bull in Japan. Guess where the low bull in Japan is? Where are you?
Oh my God, it's like NVDA all over again.
Yeah, it's like the lowest that has ever been. Like this is a very, very impulsive bull trend. And it looks like it really literally at the parabolic phase literally just started happening to the point that low bull in Japan is able to go all the way down to the negative. And you don't, like, generally when stocks get to this point, you might consolidate. Sure, you can have some, and you can keep going, like you can keep getting overextended like this, or you can end up just kind of going consolidate sideways here, and then you might end up keep going after that, and that might be a little bit of trend exhaustion, or it can just keep going higher. Like there are literally two different scenarios that I'm looking at, because I was kind of sharing on like the other video too that I did. I think right now we're hitting like the 1.414. I think we're kind of getting past that a little bit here on the log scale. Actually, this is linear scale. And we're getting close to a linear scale, 1.618, around $69, which is like, Matt Speed's favorite number. I think that initially I was looking at this like a few years ago, when it was like in 2022. I thought that we were gonna probably hit like in 3 to 5 either 69 or 108, and that would be like a pretty much like a toppy kind of thing. And right now, just looking at the trend, I don't think so. I feel higher. It really gets me to start looking at log. And when I start looking at log, I start seeing some crazy numbers, like 104, 157, 600. And I think that it's not impossible for it to keep going, just because of how impulsive it is. Like I see these things, like you said, tracker, like NVDA. And if you look at like the very similar bull trend, like you have a very impulsive candle that really pushes a Bollinger Band up and down. And when a Bollinger Band gets pushed all the way down to the floor, like the cycle just doesn't just end like that. Like everybody was calling for NVIDIA to top, and it just keeps going, right? Right now, the NVIDIA is starting to have a little bit of trend exhaustion, like the Bollinger Band is coming back, right? But until it does that, usually the bull trend keeps going for a while. Like even here is a cycle that didn't really have the Bollinger Band going to the negatives, but even then, like if it keeps on going down, that's when the bull market really starts to get like parabolic. Like when the Bollinger Band starts going down, that's when the bull market really starts to get parabolic, and there's usually still ways to go. So I think we're probably at that stage. You can say that the same thing is happening with like the Bitcoin cycles. Every single time when you have a bull market, you have like whenever you get something really absolutely impulsive, which is happening, by the way. We can talk a little bit about that later, but whenever you get something like very, very explosive, where you pull the Bollinger Band up, generally keeps going up for a while. So I think we're kind of at that stage for Palantir. Like there's no reason to really want to short this thing. Like it doesn't just do a V shape, just come down. Like it doesn't work that way. That's not how market works, right? So, and if you just look at these things on a linear scale, you're not gonna like this. Like, what is this? But if you look at things in a log scale that really give you a better perspective, like it really makes sense for it to kind of go higher. As to how much higher, I don't know. There's a possibility where it could be hitting kind of like MicroStrategy high, kind of like this, where the Bollinger Band starts to expand all the way down, but you might have another like candle or two before a huge, long, area of like consolidation, and it can just keep going higher after that, right? This is how impulsive Palantir is. So I don't know. Like I would not short this thing. I would not get in the way. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. So.
That whole narrative just makes total sense when you think about it from the fundamentals perspective, which, we don't really talk about fundamentals usually. But yeah. Palantir has a huge addressable market. I mean, shorting Palantir right now is literally like shorting IBM right after it introduces the personal computer. It's like, oh, that thing's never going to go anywhere. And then you short IBM, and then like, oh, it's in every office now. Like over the next 2 decades, it's just everywhere. And then Microsoft software is everywhere. It's like shorting IBM and Microsoft just before the explosion of the personal computer. I mean, Palantir software is going to be running so many businesses because it's such a great product.
And even if these bears are right on CNBC, on Fast Money, even if they're right, this is an unsustainable bull trend that is just irrational. Like they have nothing to show for yet, and just pulling years and years of gain ahead of time. This is a 6-month chart of the NDX, right? So NASDAQ NDX. You can see, like, you have the dot-com bubble. They call it bubble for a reason, because the 6-month candles were closing way above the upper Bollinger Band for 10 candles in a row. You have 5 years of just parabolic move where the NASDAQ made from like the 300s all the way up to like the 4,000s, right? So you can have something irrational like this that can happen for years. You pay for it later, right? But even then, like if you bought early, if this is like one of those parabolic bull trend that just got started, it can last for years. And then like 8 years later, you might lose all that game. You don't take any like risks to try to sell where you need to sell. But still, like you're talking about significant amount of gain that can be potentially pulling things to get irrational for a very, very long time, right? And these are 6-month candles. Are we overextended like we were back then? No, not really. I mean, like I think during the 2021, you can see not 2020 and 2021, you can see why we ended up getting punished by a big giant red candle over here, right? Yeah, like because we're way outside of 6-month upper Bollinger Band. Like how many candles were it? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're getting punished for it, right? You have to reset. Over here, before that, it really wasn't that crazy. You kind of went sideways here around 2015, 2016, understandably, because you went 2 years way above the upper Bollinger Band on the 6-month, right? Here, you went like 3 above the Bollinger Band, and you spent like half a year sideways, like big freaking deal, right? And then here, basically where we are right now, we're not really that overextended here. We really aren't.
We're just back on track, after the pandemic.
Well, and I made that comparison last week from Palantir and Bitcoin. You know how it looks the same. I'm gonna just show my chart. Like Palantir, it's holding that 1.414, the 6118. And I said this whole zone, even this morning on our show tracker, this whole zone is support. It broke out with a bullish engulfing candle. It's not going to look back. It's really not going to look back below this 55, most likely. And that means it can just build a base in this area, probably on top of the 1.414, and go higher. And guess what else? Bitcoin is at that 1.414 right now, right? It's going above it as well. It's going above that 1.414, and it has a potential to close the week that way. And so does Palantir again. So if I think Bitcoin is going to like 250 or 300,000, guess what? That's the full extension, basically. So that's 4.236 is 242, right? So if Palantir gets to that full extension just like Bitcoin, that could be 171, right? So maybe it's going to just blow past that $100 target that I have and just go straight up with Bitcoin, because these charts are looking identical right now when it comes to their 2021 highs. They're at their same percentage levels, really. So this is pretty incredible. So watch Bitcoin. If Bitcoin keeps going, I think Palantir is just going to follow its suit.
Hey, Kat, if I want to tell a little story, but while I'm telling a story, can you look at the M2 money supply at the short term and see if you see anything that looks like it's coinciding with what's going on with Palantir and Bitcoin?
Matt, you can pull it up, right? You have the M2 money supply indicator.
I don't know if I have it on.
Well, are you talking about the US or are you talking about the global? I mean,
global M2.
Yeah, global M2. You have that. It's on the indicator. You're the one who showed me.
Yeah, but I don't even know if I have it on this screen. I don't. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was a working stiff in my early 20s back in the my late 20s during the dot-com bubble. And I remember, here's how you know when the top is in, because your bartender is trying to give you hot stock tips, your cab driver is trying to give you hot stock tips, and the panhandler on the street has stock tips for you. That's when you know that it's the top right there.
But the global money supply is going down now, guys. It's going down.
Oh no! Why?
Well, maybe it's a little bit of a lag time. Maybe we pushed it up, and now there's
It's going to be a back test. That's what it's going to be. It's a breakout and a back test coming for a continuation higher.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single, and it does that. It did that before to a previous cycle. Like the back test actually pretty bullish. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I? Wait, what do you guys want to do next? I've got a thing. I've got a DXYZ thing, but I don't want to. I want to be at the right time for you guys.
I want you to do what you want to do, and I know eventually you're going to want to do Tesla. I was assuming that Tesla was going to be.
You have some breaking news actually from Tesla. I just got an alert from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Robin Denholm just exercised a huge option for 112,000 shares of Tesla at a price of $24.73 a share. She acquired those shares from that option and then turned around and sold them all for like $310 to $320 a share over the on November 15th. And this Securities and Exchange Commission's report just came out minutes ago. So you'll be hearing about it tomorrow. Oh no, Robin Denholm sold Tesla stock.
I would
she's just exercising an option that she had.
I would do the same to buy Dogecoin at this point. I mean, like,
I
it's
know, right?
yeah. Anyway. Yeah,
Um,
but it's not yeah, I don't know why they would do that except that if they want the money, which is understandable.
let's see. I have an exciting DXYZ chart to show you guys.
Why don't you just do your thing and get out your system tracker? How's that
All
sound?
right, let me just get out of my system. I'm so excited. I'm so stoked. So if you guys were watching, I am so stoked. So if you guys were watching the where is it? Where's my graphic? I had a graphic here. No, you know what? My computer died, and I think maybe it didn't save the graphic. But I had a picture of the. Oh, here it is. So we had a rocket launch, right? And it was very exciting. It launched at 5 p.m. Texas time, Central Time, and I don't know why, but I just had this inkling. Let me go back to this one here. I had this inkling that it really looked like the price of DXYZ was really close to where I wanted to see it for this wave sub 3 top. And so I said, I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna sell half my position right here. It was after hours, but like uh, during the launch, like literally like the launch happened right about here. And I said, you know what? It's going up. The price is going up. I'm gonna sell half my shares here. And as soon as I did, I sold 2,000 shares for $45.80 each. Then we got that, and then the price started to drift over and down a little bit. And then right here is when they said, "Oh, booster divert to offshore recovery," meaning they weren't going to be able to do the spectacular booster rocket catch with the Mecha arms. And this is what happened to the stock price. And I blame Australia because they're the bastards who were like in their prime market hours. Like it was like 9:30 to 10 a.m. right there in Australia, in Sydney when this happened. So that's Australia selling this off, plus some other people in there pre-market in Asia and whatnot. Anyway, so yeah, booster divert to offshore recovery. I decided I was going to perform my own hot staging and recovery maneuver. So after selling 2,000 shares here, and it did this candle all the way down here, it's like I'm buying that, and so I bought back my 2,000 shares right here for an average of 38.10. Booyah! I made it was like 16,000 this way, and if it recovers, it's 16,000 back that way. So I'm stoked, completely stoked. And then price started to recover, and then all this was it's an extended wire flat of the wave two. It didn't make it all the way to my larger degree wave one, which is way up here, the 76.4% extension. Basically, we had a great start into that, a minor wave one, minor wave two, and then right here where all the stuff is in the way now. Sorry, it just fell over. It failed uh, right where it's supposed to hold. It was supposed to go to like 50% and then back test to 30%. And instead it like flushed all the way down here. So DXYZ simply had an extended wider flat of the larger wave two here. Everything's fine. Your position's fine. If you didn't sell, if you're still holding a DXYZ into the market close today, don't panic. Don't sell. Buy more if you got some more money. This thing is just going to recover, and it's still going to my wave one target of 56.65. So the message is don't panic. Everything's fine. And indeed, we had a successful Starship landing on the water here in the Indian Ocean. And so like this is the whole flight time of the Starship going around the planet and then landing in the Indian Ocean and successful landing right here. And you can see what it's done. The market's still open. There's 5 more minutes, and it's simply coalesced right around. Well, it's literally halfway between the 236 and 382. I'm going to show you it on the bigger chart. I mean, now I got all this stuff in the way, but basically, here's my bigger chart. Right? It's just here's the wave one, wave two, an extended wire flat of the two. It really didn't go that badly down. Wave three will be 56.65. We just haven't gotten there. It's going to take a little longer to get there. A back test to the 382 would be 41.62. If it gets really bullish, maybe it'll only come down to 50% level. at 46.26 instead. But then the wave 3, the larger degree wave 3 goes up to 80.95. The backtest, the 100% level, 65.93, and then on to $120 for the 2382. Now, this could be in 2025, where SpaceX plans. This is, by the way, DXYZ has a huge exposure to SpaceX stock. Like, this is how you can buy SpaceX. And they're going to have a launch every 2 weeks in 2025 is their goal. So just imagine like all this excitement, like every 2 weeks. And then, yeah, I think this could pump up maybe to the 2618 up here for $130 a share before we get the consolidation ABC down. So there you go, DXYZ. Don't be salty about the red candle after hours during the launch. It's going to recover, and it's just a buying opportunity to buy more. There you go. That was my exciting story about DXYZ and how I got my own hot staging and recovery maneuver.
Very good.
So you're saying you believe in destiny?
I do. I believe in destiny, and it's a fantastic first-person shooter too. If you've never played it, by Bungie, I love that game. Or I loved it. Now it's kind of played out, but yeah, it's really fun. You can play the Hunter or Titan or Warlock in space. Destiny. It's on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. I hope they get it on Luna. That'd be really cool. Luna's like you can stream stuff right from your TV. Anyway, that's the DXYZ. Do you guys have DXYZ?
I don't. No. I've been focusing on a lot of other things. I don't even know if I have enough time to appreciate other stocks at the moment.
Yeah, I have a fetish on like one stock or one crypto per week. 2 or 3 weeks ago was Coin. This week so far it's been Mara.
Well,
so, yeah.
and you love going XXL too, so
I totally understand. I totally get it. There's a lot of stock. I've gotten used to like just a crazy number of stocks now. I've gone back to super full insane tracker mode. The whole idea when I decided I was going to be the Tesla tracker and come on here on X, I was just going to track one stock because then it wouldn't be so crazy, and I could just focus on Tesla and do a really good job of tracking it and help everybody, and we'd all make a lot of money on Tesla. And 2023 and 2024 have just been so. Oh no!
What happened? What?
I don't know. I think he just completely disappeared.
Did he like spill like a soda all over his computer, and now he
it must have been a soda. It must wink. It must have been a soda.
Well, with that being said, we lost tracker, and
oh my god. Okay, all right, we'll just do our thing then. It's okay.
Well, there's a lot of requests for miners, and I think that's why a lot of people came up here for. So we can start with the Mara, since that was your teaser on the image, right? Or we could save the teaser for last. Who knows? Yeah. No. So Mara, I think it's perfectly fine. There's no worry, in my opinion, at all. And yes, it's below indicators. Yes, it's below like a lot of Ichimoku stuff too. We can see here under the cloud and everything. But I think the important thing to do is just look at this Bollinger Band. It just back tested it perfectly, the 20-week moving average. So 17.99, just as long as that kind of holds, I believe that can just continue the base and go higher. But a lot of the miners, they were just back testing support. That's all they were doing. Just they broke out and they back tested support. And I essentially drew a line and posted it on X the other day. It's basically this, right? Price was down here. It was just resistance, previous support, breakout, back test over and over, and now it's trying to be support again. Like that's just the best way to look at a lot of these. Even CLSK is the exact same way. Just Mara is very, very volatile, and it looks like it's trying to just find this new higher low and maybe just try to break out a little bit later. So I am bullish on it. I was buying in the 18s all day yesterday, and I think it has good potential to recover. What about you, Kat?
Sorry, I'm still laughing at like Tracker's rocket exploded. But anyway,
yeah, it was like, oh no. Like what could he have happened that he said, oh no?
I'm sure he's okay, but like, anyway,
was he just abducted by aliens or something? Like the DXYZ talk was like, oh god, we got to go get him. He's talking about us.
You know what aliens like to do to humans. Anyway, let me see. Yeah, if you want to pull up my chart here, I'll show something on that. Yeah, I mean, a couple of things. So Mara. I really do think that the cycle is still very much very similar to the last cycle. This is the 2-week Ichimoku cloud. Actually, if you look at the 2-week, kind of like what Tracker always says, that it's like the belly button, right? It's between the monthly, between the weekly here. Actually shows you a lot of things, just like how it showed on Tesla, a lot of things. Here, you really see that it kind of break into the cloud, kind of backtest the bottom of the cloud the last cycle. And then whenever it gets ready to run, it just ran, right? And Mara really, during the last cycle too, it really lagged behind Bitcoin by a few weeks. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. It's just kind of still hovering around the inside a 2 Ichimoku cloud. It's hanging around the 0.618 and 0.5 foot level, just been bouncy balls. It's getting to the end of the line here. I think it's probably going to end up, going up maybe over the next 3 weeks or so. It's probably going to challenge the 0.786 here soon. And interestingly, 0.786, what is it? Well, it's also the top of the Ichimoku cloud on the monthly, right? So there's a lot of confluence there. I think that's probably going to be a magnet maybe over the first half of 2025, maybe beyond. If it's able to break above that, then you know what that means, right? If it breaks above 0, yeah, you know what it means. So it means it's probably gonna make some all-time highs, and we'll talk about the higher levels later. There's also a couple other things to look at too when it comes to Mara, is that you have a lot of really similarities between the area over here and the area over here, where you, like the last cycle, you have a little bit of a Bollinger Band expansion initially, and then followed by contraction, because things kind of got sideways over here for a few months, and things just kind of went parabolic, right? Over here, same thing, expansion, contraction, but this cycle is just a lot longer for whatever reason. Regardless, the 20-month moving average has been rising up, just like the 20-week was serving as support. The 20-month is also serving as perfect support. What all Mara did was it hit the upper Bollinger Band this month, and it wasn't quite ready. It probably still need to wait for a little bit of a monthly Bollinger Band expansion before things go up a lot higher. But all of this really just came back to the 20. A lot of wicks down here, which is bullish, right? And then it's getting ready to challenge the upper Bollinger Band here. I think it will do that, but right now it's still stuck in the range. I think it's still, like, based on, and I did this like live streams, I did like other videos too, based on actually just looking at timing. Over here, the same thing happened as over here. I think Mara just kind of lagged behind Bitcoin by a few weeks. And I can show that, but I don't know. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to show it real quick. Why not? Not Cody. Go to Bitcoin. Yeah. So if you just look at the previous cycle here, just like what Mara did in the previous cycle, I don't like, that's also part of the reason I don't know why people like kind of really freaking out. Maybe I should be freaking out. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of missing, like, maybe I'm homoing on freaking out. I don't know. But like the last cycle, Bitcoin really start to run around October 5th, right? Like the bull trend for Bitcoin really started October 5th, and it's just kind of all these green candles here, bam, 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 right? And it really started to make all-time high around like late November, early December, right? Mara, what did Mara do on October 5th? Mara on October 5th really did nothing for like 5 weeks after that. Like, it just went sideways like 5 weeks after. Can you imagine how frustrated people must have been? Went up, and next thing you have like a bearish engulfing candle over here when Bitcoin just like continued to go, I'm just gonna keep going up. Like, like what happened on the week of October 26th, right? You have a bearish engulfing candle on Mara, and Bitcoin had a green candle, which just keep on going up. And it broke above the zone over here when Mara is still underneath the zone over here. A lot of people got trapped from like $5 all the way down to like $1.50, right? And a lot of people get really frustrated here when Bitcoin just say, I'm just going to take off. And around here, like, it decided to go to like all-time high, and that's when Mara was like, okay, I'm gonna break above the zone over here, right? but like, you know, it's just, I just see it the same thing kind of happening. And then after that, from this low over here for Mara to the all-time high over here, it went about like $1.50 to like 84 bucks, right? So $1.50 to 84 bucks, that's like about 55x, something like that. Here in Bitcoin, from like the bottom over here is like 10,000 all the way to like 70,000. That's a 7x. Mara made like a 55x during the really euphoric stage of the market. And they were diluting the whole time, just so you know. Like, it's not like they weren't diluting. They were just diluting the whole time. So I think the dilution thesis and the fundamental thesis work for like the bear market and the pre-bull market. But like if things really get truly euphoric, it's above all-time high and continues to keep doing that. And if the IWM also like breaks out, I think these other proxies, they're going to catch up. And when they catch up, it can be pretty impressive. There's no guarantee. None of this is like a guarantee, but I just think that a lot of people forget Mara can do these like plus. I'm going to close down Bitcoin here. I think a lot of people forget that Mara can do these crazy weeks where it just goes up like 100%. And like here it went up like 41%, 26% in a week, 26% in a week, went down 12%, goes up 100%, goes up 17%, goes down 4%, goes up 150%, right? This is why people still care about Mara, because people remember what happened last cycle. Does it mean that the same thing's going to happen this cycle? I don't know. All I know is that during last cycle, during this bull trend, they were still diluting. It's not like anything is really different. So, and so far you have higher highs and higher lows, and it looks like it's doing some, you know, pretty decent.
But what about when they were a patent monetization company back in 2014? Can you expand on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm worried. I know, yeah, if it doesn't really make a higher high, yeah, this is a bear trend. So, you know, it's scary.
Yeah. Yes, because they're all about the patents now. They love those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go to CleanSpark real quick too, and I'll probably just step out here.
What happened to you, Tracker? I'm really curious.
Yeah,
it was another
rocket explode.
Rapid, unexpected disassembly of electrons on my computer. It shut itself off.
But you're like, oh no!
Oh.
It's like you knew it was going to happen before it happened.
I can see it's like it does this thing where like yeah,
you know,
so like the fan speed goes up to 100%, and then it just like turns off the PC.
It's like the premature warning, like before it happened.
Yeah, because we could hear you say, "Oh no!" So like your computer was literally like shutting off.
It was
after you said, "Oh no."
It has a telltale fan speed goes to 100%, and just like, oh no, it's doing the thing. It's going to shut itself off. I got raptured. That was my favorite.
Is your computer okay?
I got sucked into that game I was talking about, and then I got raptured.
Well, I'm sorry that the hardware wasn't doing what it was supposed to do.
It's my fault. Yeah. I need to get in there and vacuum out the air fins, the aluminum cooling fins on the processor, probably.
I'm gonna just go through real quick CleanSpark. I'm not gonna take too much
time. Go ahead.
Bear market breaks down 2 fib level, goes up 1, breaks down 3, goes back 2, breaks down 5. You know, bull market breaks down 2, back test 1, breaks out 3, back test 2, breaks out 3, back test 2, breaks out 3, back test 2. It's a bull market. Like I don't have anything else to say. If you really want to look at like different things, sure, like it reclaimed the 20-week moving average. It reclaimed the Burn support band. The Burn support band is turning bullish. I can talk about, you know, like monthly 20-month moving average is still good support. Right now is still about the 0.618. It just came back down, back to 0.5. Got a lot of wicks down below. Found really good support. It's a very bullish formation. It looks like a big giant cup with a handle, and it looks like the handle is about to push upwards. I can keep going, but I sound so bored. Ichimoku Cloud, it's still kind of stuck underneath below, but it's been trying to challenge it for so long. I think this time we probably have to come back down, back test the 2 fib levels below, and now we're building enough energy to probably push up. another thing that's very, very important, we are underneath the weekly Ichimoku cloud, but we are probably on the verge of breaking out. The reason why I say that is because volume is finally picking up. It's very important. Even though this is a red candle, it's actually the price. The price actually go up like 3.4%, right? So you have this uptrend over here on increased volume, right? So you have this downtrend here on decreased volume. What do you think is going to happen? It's probably going to break out. The same thing happened to SOFI before it did. I mean, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. I don't really have like a whole lot to say. Once we break about the 0.76, I think we're going to make not all-time high, but going to break the cycle high and go higher. So
I have confluence with that for my CLSK, and it's my blue GAN level.
Woohoo!
Look at where price is. It's above.
Right. It's moved completely sideways over the last 4 years.
Yeah, and look at how important that blue GAN level is as a resistance, a support, a resistance, a resistance, a support. And now it is back as support after successfully testing the 45-degree angle, which I made a post on X about it's a buy here at 850. And that sure enough was a great buy because price just accelerated up. And I haven't sold it at all. I actually bought more today on the dip in the 13s. In the low 13s. And I think, what Kat said just makes sense to me, that it just kind of wants to build a base on top of this zone. Even on top of that weekly conversion line too is down there as well for the Ichimoku at like 1320. So this is looking like a successful breakout and back test for building a base to go up to the next level, which could be 24, and the next green level it sits at 51. So I think that is really in the cards now, especially if this blue level holds as support. So people who are bearish on miners for the medium to long term, I think it's a mistake because the charts are setting up really, really nicely for a future bounce.
Yeah, I think I think it's going to the arc, and if it breaks to the lower arc, that means it breaks about the 0.786, and it means it's going a lot higher.
Yeah. So I love it. Yeah. Go ahead, Steve.
I feel like there's this thing where everyone's gun shy from 2021. I know I'm still kind of gun shy from 2021. And they're all just expecting Bitcoin to just completely fall flat on its face again.
Well, you can see that. You can see that with the XRP posts too. People are so negative on it. It's like, oh, it's not going to last, or it's just it's still an S coin or whatever. But I keep telling people, if it stays above 104, it's going way higher, way higher, because 104 is the top of the monthly Ichimoku cloud for XRP. And like people they're in disbelief right now. They're like, no, this can't be true. This is because it hasn't happened in like 4 years. They're like, it's like somebody's been beaten for 4 years, and then when they stop beating them, they're like, I don't believe it. Where's the beating? It's
exactly. That's exactly it.
Your alcoholic boyfriend has cleaned up, and you don't believe it anymore. Like
it's classic retail is about to get left behind again behavior.
Yeah.
So everyone's gun shy, and they're afraid to buy miners because they think that it's too good to be true, and the whole thing's going to fall over, and the miners are going to go to zero, and they're just going to like fall. So I think once Bitcoin proves that this time it is different, that's when the miners are going to take off.
Well, it already is.
I know, right?
Like look
they
at the
want
Bitcoin
more.
chart.
They still don't think it's enough.
I mean, what more do you need than going to fib extensions and holding them as support? What else do you need?
I mean, but credible. Yeah, sorry. I don't mean.
What is he saying?
No,
I don't even know what he's saying.
Probably the same thing. I stopped paying attention a long time ago. I don't care.
But honestly, I think people that are trading, they're going to miss out on a lot of these gains for crypto and for the miners, because the real money is like, it's going to happen overnight. Like when people wake up in the morning and Mara's up like 30% or CLSK is up that much, then they're going to FOMO back into it, and they're just going to miss out on a lot of the big percentage of it. And it's going to happen with all this crypto too. All these that are still under the Ichimoku cloud, like Link or AVAX or all of them, right? They're going to bust through one day, and they're not going to look back, and it's just going to be game over for the people that are trading these things, and they're going to miss out on exponential gains. But you know what? We are not. We are not.
Right. At this point, it's about time in the market, not how deftly you can trade in and out. Don't be like Tracker. He's always trying to trade in and out.
Well, I started to do your style with some TSLL and some ConL, so I'm going in and out. But not Cat. Cat loves to hold his double, triple, extra larges or at least a decade. You know.
I love my bit triple X, like bit XXX. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Pull up my messy sheet. Did I share my screen? Yeah. Pull up my messy screen here, and I just want to show you what I've been doing. I've been racing them, just like I said I would. I've got let's see, what's supposed to be TSLA on this one.
I think you need more screens, Tracker.
DXYZ in this one. I know, right?
Yeah.
And then this is ConL, and then this is supposed to be MSTX. And so I've been racing them. I had them like all lined up. They're all messed up now, but I had them all lined up so they're the same scale. Like I had a blue line here and another blue line 10% higher, blue line here, blue line 10% higher. Like, this is my cost, and then 10% higher. And I'm all lined up, and then you could see like where price, which one was going up and which one was going down. And basically, I mean, we saw MSTX just absolutely like took off today. Tesla started to go up, but then fell back down again. And then DXYZ absolutely just took off. And ConL just like stuck around my costs. ConL's like, I'm poking with a stick. It's not doing anything. But that just means opportunity for us to sell some of like the DXYZ and the MSTX and buy a little bit more TSL if it falls down to 320 like I think it's gonna, or buy more ConL while it's like not doing anything before it starts to go up. Which actually looks like it kind of started to go up. Wait, when is this? 2:30 afternoon. Oh yeah, it's still kind of stuck in this range, but ConL's gonna explode the upside eventually here. I when it dipped down here, I bought more. I bought more down here. A dollar cost average down to that dip right there. So yeah, it's fun racing all four of these against each other. They're all 2x bullish ETFs of, well, no, I'm sorry, Tesla, and then DXYZ is like a 2x ETF all on its own of SpaceX, Coin, and then MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, I actually did sell half my position, and then I sold another quarter. So I'm like at 25% of my MSTX right now, and I'm looking for it to drop back to this moving average 75 on the 15-minute chart. Make a little wave 4 down here at about 130 tomorrow, maybe. So I don't know. Maybe is Bitcoin gonna cap out just a little bit?
Ooh. My theory is I think MicroStrategy might get burned out before all the other proxies because it's like having an absolutely crazy parabolic trend, and I think a lot of people are going to end up rotating into MicroStrategy late, and then it's probably going to end up having money rotated out. With that said, I think MicroStrategy can keep going up for months and months and months, and I don't like it's still bullish. So
yeah, actually, MicroStrategy, I'm going to talk about that if that's okay with you guys.
Oh, please do.
Since we brought it up.
Yeah, we are above Matt's critical support test of 91,100 again. And you know what it likes to do is it makes this higher high and then tests some support. And it makes another higher high than that, tests some support. And the last thing it does before it takes off and goes to 100,000 is it craps out and makes a new slightly lower low, but it's still a higher low than this one. So, look for Bitcoin to like do this, and then 100,000. Where'd you go? Here. And then 100,000. So it'll build a base. The last thing it does before it takes off is one last screw you guys back test to like just hit all the stop losses down here, and then we got 100,000. So look out for this one right there.
It's possible. Yeah.
All right, do your thing, Matt.
All right. So back to MicroStrategy. Yeah. So also another example of something following Bitcoin from the 2021 high. It's above its 1.414 as well. And because it's above that, the Palantir is above it, Bitcoin's above it, it's just going higher. And not only that, when I put on the GAN here, it's just incredible how this previous resistance now is confirmed support. Not only that, it went above the blue level as well. So this is a breakout. It's a breakout of a new level, right? And we can see how long it spent at that orange level, just a very, very long time, very like many years, but it's a different business back then for sure. But still, it's still very symmetrical with price, even though it was a different business back then. And now it's finally back above everything as support. And what comes next? Well, it could just melt up to maybe 600, right? Maybe 590, 600, maybe even up to the upper arcs here at 1100. And I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but the next level is also possible, 8,000. People might think I'm crazy for saying that, but you never know, right? It's definitely a possibility in the years to come, not like the months or so. But in the meantime, this is a breakout. It's a breakout for MicroStrategy, and I think it's something that cannot be faded, or should not be faded, I should say. It should be, it's very strong. It's very powerful, and it's like blowing people's minds how much it's going up, you know? But it's just like Palantir, how people thought it's just going to slow down. But I have confluence here with my fib right here with the ARC and the 1.618, 542. So I think that is going to be the next level before any kind of major resistance level. But as long as this 45 basically holds us support, it's going to just gravitate higher. So yeah, I don't really see any slowing down right now for MicroStrategy, even though probably on the weekly Bollinger Band it's getting quite extended, right? Yeah, well, it's just pushing it up, and it's kind of expanding a lot.
I mean, it can get expanded even more, but I do think maybe given another like 2 crazy candles, if it goes up to like 1,000 or a little higher, that's when I think like maybe things will start to rotate out. But it's got like probably at least another like 2x, maybe 2.5x to go.
Oh yeah, put me in the game, coach. Put me in the game
for the cycle top. You're saying, Kat?
I don't want to say that, you know, because I don't know. This cycle has just been a lot slower, but MicroStrategy has been like an early runner.
Yeah, but I mean, a 2x. So you're only thinking like just over.
What? Well, a 2x would be like 2.5x would be like 1,000, right?
Yeah, it'd be like 1,000. Yeah, like the upper arc here.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, I'm an Asian cat. I do math, you know.
Yeah. So I can see that. Yeah, I can see a minimum of $1,000 though for.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, I think it's going there probably.
Can I show my MicroStrategy?
Yeah.
By the way, Samantha Mondai is going to absolutely explode if we don't.
Are you going to explode?
Mara
I think Matt's showing my chart instead.
112 ETH.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so MicroStrategy, it did like I was expecting it to stop at this 1618. You know, I got more bullish. I thought, you know, it did the 1382. I thought maybe it stopped at the 1618. No, look, it's gone to the 1764. It's even hotter now. That means I have to bring up my wave 4. So maybe it pulls back to the 1382 at 376. And then maybe instead of the 2618, it goes to the 2764. So that's $752. I'm sorry, $652. 652.64. So that's where my wave 5 impulsive cycle tops out now. 652. And that's all I want to show you. And maybe I have to pull this, change this target to 376.
Yeah, I only have one thing to say to show on MicroStrategy.
Sure, let's see it.
Yeah, I mean it's if you see the cycle end up having a candle that looks like this, where it's like way outside the monthly upper Bollinger Band, it's got a big giant wick above, MicroStrategy is probably topped. So that's stupid. Have we had one like that so far? No. It looks like it just keeps on wanting to expand up higher. But this is like as exhausted as a trend can look, where the upper Bollinger Band is not expanding anymore, it's starting to kind of contract here. And you have a candle that's way outside, but you got a big giant wick above. Yeah, time to sell out. Do we have that right now?
A blow off top.
Yeah, a blow off top. Do we have that right now? No. When is that going to come? I don't know. I think it's probably going to go to like 1,000, 1,200, somewhere around there. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. How much MSTX do you have right now, Kat?
I do have MSTR, but it's like a small position.
Wait. You bought 20 GME, but you won't buy 20 MSTX?
Yeah, I mean I do CoinL. That's what I do, you know. Yeah, because I only have like one broker that does these 2x leverage, and I already put all of them, like majority of them is in CoinL and some of them is in BitX. So like I don't really, so I don't really have much. But yeah, I'm just gonna. So somebody was asking about like comparing like WGMI to DAPP. They're the same chart. You can do either. It's the same as far as I'm concerned. I mean, like this month may be a little bit outperforming with like the WGMI compared to they're the same chart. I don't have anything else to add to that.
We gonna make it? Is that what it stands for?
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
We gonna make it? Yeah.
I think that's what it's supposed to be standing for. Yeah. So this is SOFI, and I'm going to talk about SOFI real quick. I'm going to let you guys do like.
Made it to your $14 target, Cat.
It did. Yeah, I was talking about $14 when price is like here, when price is here, and then over here, and then like for some reason everybody got really excited. I was talking about 14 here, talking about 14 here, and like nobody got excited here anymore. I think people just really burned them out. This over here really burned them out. And I don't blame them. This is exactly what the miners are doing, by the way. So just saying. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna put up the volume here. This is exactly what the miners doing. Like right miners been, and SoFi has been going down on like declining volume like this, and then all it takes just a little bit of volume and it just pump up. Right. I just showed you. I think the volume is coming back for miners too. But look at how bullish on the weekly Bollinger Band is. Like SoFi has never looked like this. It has never looked like this. And last week was a little bit overextended. I was like, I don't know, it looks a little bit like a toppy doji. Next thing you know, this week is like, nah, I'm just gonna touch the upper Bollinger Band. I'm just gonna go higher. I'm like, okay, like you do you, man. You know, I'm okay. And then you also look at the. I also have a little bit of like a GAN here too. This is a lock GAN. I do 360 and 0.2. Give me some pretty decent symmetry. One thing is that it did break about the 0.382 lock fit level around 13.4. Pretty convincingly. It was kind of hovering up there. I was afraid that it was going to break down, back test the arc down here, but now I just kept going. So that's the reason why I don't sell on like a big giant bull trend, because you really don't know which way it's going to go. Could this be toppy and come down? Maybe. But you know, if this is wave 3, it's going to be the most powerful. This is 1, 2, 3. I mean, 3 is going to be the most powerful, right? Breaks above the 0.382. It could gravitate to the 0.618. Which is like $19 is also where the arc is at right here, right? So that's kind of where I'm seeing SoFi could go. I mean, obviously it can come back down at any level. It can find resistance at the 0.5 around $16.25, and you come back down. Maybe even whatever reason, like you have like a big giant scare and come back all the way down to the arc. I suppose it's possible. I think it's going to be like a lot less likely now because the trend is just so darn bullish. I've never seen SoFi look like this, right? And people are still PDSD. They think SoFi is going to do this. Nah, this is a complete change in character. Look at monthly. This is a complete change in character. SoFi has never done this before. It's got a very, very nice upper and lower Bollinger Band expansion. It's got a lot of really nice volume that came in buying over the last few months. This thing's probably going to like keep exploding higher. I think 19 is going to be my next target. It like 14 is slicing like 14 like butter right now. I'm just in awe. I don't care what it does ultimately. I'm just gonna like sit and hold. But that's my story on SoFi. You guys want to talk about SoFi? You want to talk about Tesla before Tesla tracker exploded? You know, I think you were gonna go there.
I mean, you're the SoFi master.
I've got a SoFi chart. And I'll do Tesla.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
All right, here we go. SoFi chart. So what did you say? $19? Yeah.
Yeah, 19.
I think it's going to 1917 for the 1764. Nice. We take it right to where you were talking about. It didn't really have much of a 1-2. It's kind of doing what the PLTR did. It barely. I could barely call this a 1-2 of 3. Like it's basically it is in its third wave. Wave start, wave 1, wave 2, third. It's in the heart of the third wave. Heading for 1917. It will have like a wave 3, subwave 4 in here somewhere. So you'll see it like go like maybe, I don't know, 17, drop to 15, then 19. But don't worry about it. And then after that, I'm going to have to move this up to 16. Maybe it drops from 19 to 16 and then on up to the 2.7. Where'd you go? Get out of the way. 2764 right here. That's 2663. I guess I was trying to peg it like in between the two. I'll just go ahead and say 26. No, not that button. Not that button.
Don't say, oh no. Don't scare us.
I'm sorry. And then, another way of just looking at it, even if you don't use the Elliott wave extensions, just look back here at the retrace. So from the all-time high down to the all-time low, and it's retracing back. Right now, here's Kat's prediction versus Heidi's prediction. Oh, no, don't do that. You slightly beat Heidi's prediction out. You were the highest without going over. But yeah, right at the 382, just above the 382 now, heading for the 50% retrace. A typical 61.8% retrace is 1913, which lines right up right with this 1764. And then if it wanted to get really bullish, it would go to 2262. I guess another way of looking at it is if it only retraced and couldn't get up here the first time, maybe it might crap out at this 88.2% at 2544. But I think it might get a little better than that. Anyway, that's it. That's all the SOFI. It's definitely going higher. 19, I definitely see. We'll maybe test back to the 50% fib, and then on to 764 at least, and maybe higher. And then
I would not beat Heidi. Heidi wins every time, just so you know.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
We love Heidi. She's great.
Yeah, she's great.
All right. Let's see. Is this my Tesla chart? This is my Tesla chart. So I've been showing everyone that I am the Tesla tracker. I'm well known for this is what I do. I thought I would just track this one stock and I'd be really, really, really good at it. It's still so hard. It is the hardest stock I've ever had to try to TA ever. Everything else feels easy compared to Tesla, let me tell you. So it's been a great exercise being the Tesla tracker. Anywho, after coming off this 230.74 bottom, ripping up to this new higher high of 362.80, we're over the 300s now. It tested back. Everyone thought, it's going to go 270, 275. Nope. We held up. We didn't get any lower than 302.68. So basically, it was just like that last time when we hit the 138.80 low. Where are you? 50-minute chart. The 138.80 low. Gosh darn it. It's not even that. Here it is. Right here. It went to the 138.80 low. And then in this case, it spent 7-8 weeks just going sideways, doing nothing. And then it completely ripped up here and we hit this 271 high that then took forever trying to retest and failed and retest. And then we got the little island bottom and then boom, we're over 300 and we'll never see under 300 again. Mark my words or I will delete my account. Never going to see under 300 again.
Short it.
And we proved it last week. It had every chance to go under 300, and all we got 302.68. That's it. And then right back up here again to almost 350. And now it's like another island. Now it's on an island top, right? And I think I don't know what's going to happen, but I have this feeling it wants to come back here and touch this 320.57 bottom for the ABC retrace, the 61.8% retrace of this move from 302 up to 350. And once it holds that, then we can go on up to retest 400. But the max pain this Friday, as of this morning's open, was 320. And, in typical Tesla fashion, they'll just try to run out the clock all the way sideways into the week, into Friday close. And it'll look like nothing happened all week. Like exciting, but bad exciting, good exciting, and then it just gets really boring and your eyes glaze over. And even that's how today was. All of today was just it started doing AB right here, dropped down, and then ran up here, and then just spent the whole day testing the top of this resistance line here, and then nothing was resolved. So everyone's going to report in the news media, what's her face sold shares of Tesla and we'll open with it'll gap down, we'll touch here, and then start to end Friday kind of right in the middle around 330 or something maybe. That's my prediction for Tesla. And then next week we can get over 350 and get back to business. And that is my TS. Oh, that's my short-term TA for Tesla. Long-term, I think you guys know that I love this chart now that I've done, which is that basically I just took a fractal of the 2021 to 2022 run up. We had a consolidation triangle. It breaks out and then just absolutely melts up. And then look over here for the next 3 years, a giant consolidation triangle, and now we're breaking out, and I think it's time to melt up. So a fractal of this arrow move here is this arrow that goes to 71033. It says precise fractal. And you'll notice 194.61%. And down here, oh, it's really tiny, 194.61%. I measured it precisely, and this is what we would get. And now it's just a matter of how long does it take to get there? Do we get a linear path or a parabolic path? And obviously, or a hyperbolic. The hyperbolic path is what we had before. So hyperbolic is what I expect again. And then just trying to use this tool to kind of like on the outside where all these prices are on the bottom of the hyperbola. That gets us to like, I think the end of 2025. Like this is like Christmas 2026. But I've been noticing that usually these hyperbolic curves, they're supposed to do like your best fit of like all the numbers, all the data. So I think actually it's going to be like mid 2025. I think this could be this summer of 2025. We could see 71033. There you go.
I see something similar too.
All right, let's see what you got.
Yeah. Let me see.
Oh yeah, Tesla 350 before Turkey Day. Yeah, I think so. Next week.
Before Turkey Day.
It might as well be right now. I mean, it's not that much further to go.
It's not that much further to go.
It's basically like a 0.5%. Come on now.
Yeah. So yeah,
well, it's going to freak everyone out and run to 320 first.
Yeah,
and then over 350.
Yeah, possible. I'll show you some confluence with that too. Actually, right. 360 and 10, right? 360 and 10. Look at the market symmetry that is being illustrated here, with the angle, with the arc here, and the arc here, and the arc here, and the arc here. Right? Pretty decent symmetry using these numbers. Where's the next level at? 700. Like right
no
around.
way. Yeah. No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, 700. Something else.
I want everyone to know. I want to go on record as Kat and I did not collude on this. I've never seen him point out the 700 number before now. We completely came up with this independently of each other.
Yeah, 700. I mean, I think it pushes through, but I think it's a target for sure. You know, looking at Bollinger Band, you know, I think that this behavior here is pretty impulsive. It reminds me like this fractal over here, up and then just kind of staying outside of the Bollinger Band here, with the Bollinger Band expanding on the weekly with a 20 really impulsively rising up like this. It really reminds me of, I don't want to get everybody like too bullish and explode here, but it really reminds me of what happened over here, where you have the Bollinger Band expanding and you have a couple of candles over here. So to put it in context, where's up with Bollinger Band right now? 324.83, right? And I'm going to remember this, burn this into your image, right? Where Bollinger Band contraction and expansion, Bollinger Band contraction and expansion, right? It looks like this, right? And then it looks like this down here. So what I suspect might happen, and I don't know for sure, I think it's probably going to come back down to the upper Bollinger Band, which is 324, right? I just showed you, and maybe go a little bit below, maybe 320, right? And then it's probably just going to hang around there. I don't think it's going to go back down like a lot of people think it's going to be, because of how strong the bull trend is over here, right? What it ended up doing is it was so impulsive, it wanted to go up so badly, you know, that it just went way outside upper Bollinger Band the week after that, and then it get corrected sideways for a few weeks before it just kind of went berserk, right? So I can totally see that it wants to maybe gravitate back down to the upper Bollinger Band, just because we're just like way overextended for 2 weeks in a row. If it does that, yeah, buying opportunity potentially, right? And the next thing you know, next week it could end up being like another gap up, and then just go sideways for a few weeks, and it just blows up. That's kind of what I'm suspecting might happen if this fractal kind of works up between here and there, right? Some similarities too between these two area is let me see. I'm gonna go back here to the monthly. I mean, like, there's a lot of similarities between these two areas here and here, right? After it breaks out, like, it didn't even really care about the horizontal over here. It's just kind of pushed through to the next level, like at the arc up here, right? I think it might do very similar things where it spend like the next 6 months, where it's just kind of pushed up here to the horizontal line right there around 700. I see a lot of similarities between like what I'm seeing here in terms of momentum versus here. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. And then on top of all that, you also have the monthly Bollinger Band very, very nicely expanding over here, kind of like it did over here. I've always wondered, is it going to be like like over here and then just kind of goes back down, or is it going to be like this where it goes up? I think it's probably going to be like somewhere in between. I don't think it's going to make another like crazy like 40x like it did over here, but I think it's probably somewhere in between, like meh versus God. It's probably going to be like okay. So I can see it potentially hitting like 4 figures maybe over like the next 2 or 3 years. I can see that happening. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Tesla.
Yeah, we love Tesla. We're like super bullish on it. That's why we, you guys have like your Tesla positions from long ago, and now we're like buying it. We're trading it out of TSLA, the 2x bullish ETF of Tesla.
Yeah, I decided to do that because I don't want to touch my Tesla position ever. I want to be like Cat and hold things for 17 years.
Yeah.
Just joking. But yeah, so nothing's really changed in the grand scheme of things. I've been saying this whole week and last week that the 702 and the 786 is in that range, and that matches with what Tracker says too. And Cat, the 320 is possible, right? And maybe it'll break this week, or maybe it won't, right? I think probably the odds are maybe not. This week, it might just close right underneath the 786, just because the last 2 weeks closed right underneath, literally directly underneath the 321.32. Like this candle here closed at 321.22. This one closed at 320.72, so directly underneath it. So I think the trend might be just close it underneath. Don't want to be too bullish, and psych people out. But going to my linear again, we already hit that level last week, the orange level. So that was a perfect breakout. You guys have been seeing this chart for a long time now, probably ever since.
I love this chart.
Maybe it was ever since it was right here. I think I started showing it all the time since it was at this zone, right? And then it broke out, back tested the arc, broke out again, back test, and broke out and touched the arc. And now it went directly straight up to the orange level and got rejected. So that is 358. That's going to be the plan to close above. I think a weekly candle close above that will kick things off into high gear, and it'll be acceleration mode after that. But it might take some time to get there. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next month or beginning of the year. I'm not sure. But once it gets above that, I think it's good to go. But one thing I have noticed, and it's the downward sloping angles thing here, and it is kind of showing that maybe things don't want to break down any further because it broke out, and now it's maintaining this downward sloping angle here. So possibly this might want to be a support. And that's at 340, guys. And you saw how price was maintaining around 340 basically all day today. Oh, yeah. Basically, even during the week, it would go down below, but it would gravitate back to 340. So I'm thinking if maybe 320 already happened last week. Maybe that's the case. So possibly this week, 340. Then next week, that's around like 339, 342. So I think it could just stay there for a couple of weeks, build a base on this angle, and then good to go to the moon. And usually how these downward sloping angles work, like the closer they are together, the less resistance they really are. So the ones that are far apart are usually the ones that are the bigger resistance. But this one wasn't really any resistance at all. So the trend could just be like maybe just stays here for a little bit and wants to smash everything above. So I'm really watching that angle. Like if we get weekly candle closes above it consistently, then it's go time. So I'm not too sure anymore about going back to 320 anymore because it had the opportunity when it was down at 330. So it didn't go.
Very nice. Love
Maybe
it.
It won't. It'll just maybe tomorrow it'll be like 350, 355, 360.
Yeah, well, I still I still don't think they're going to close it above the 786 this week. I just think that'd be too obvious and too bullish. So I think they're still going to close it below 347.58. And once they start closing it above, then I think it's going to be game on. But it might take a week or two or more. Yeah, but
I guess I'd say if you're trading in and out of TSLL, by the end of the day Friday, I'm going to make sure I'm back in my TSLL in case there's like another over the weekend surprise. Like, oh, not only are we going to have robo-taxis starting up in the United States, the program starts up. We actually started up last week, and they'll announce that like on Sunday night, and like Monday it'll just like fly.
I'm also taking my cues from TSLO, and the previous high here, it's maintaining a base on top of the 21. Not only that, it's maintaining a base on top of the orange GAN level. So basically, I think TSLL is telling us that it doesn't want to go lower, and it wants to go higher to 28, to 32. So I'm not going to trade anything right now. I'm just going to hold my TSLL. I'm going to hold my Tesla, and I'm going to wait until this thing breaks to the upper 20s and into the low 30s. So that's what I'm waiting. But everything is bullish. TSLO chart, super bullish. Tesla chart, super bullish. And all I see right now, TSLO back testing the orange level of my GAN. Tesla back testing that downward sloping angle. Just super bullish for Tesla. And people, I get messages still saying, why isn't it doing anything? I'm like, really, like it just made a massive move. I mean, patience. I don't understand how to respond to those kind of messages. It's like, did you not see a move from like low 200s to 350? Did you not see?
But that was last week, Matt. You remember that?
Yeah, it's kind of like you're only good as your last game in sports, right? Yeah. Nobody remembers anything before that. Like, oh, last week you were terrible. This is over. So, but yeah, I couldn't be more bullish on Tesla than I am now. It's been my favorite position in a long time, or for a long time, and it's just heating up, in my opinion. It's going to be mind blowing, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Mara. No, I'm just kidding.
And back to Mara.
I think one stock we should definitely talk about is NVDA.
All right, because I got something called earnings.
NVDA. So I got my GAN. It's a base. It's building. Right. I got that fib that I just showed you from the previous 2021 high to the low. It's going to gravitate to the 2.272, and that's 152.38. And I've been saying that for a while now, and that is looking more and more likely going to be the target. And if we put on everything else bullish, Ichimoku, SMAs are way down there. Bollinger Bands, it's still kind of just hovering underneath it. It never tested the 20-week there. It's just a really bullish chart. And one thing I want to do is kind of just show you the 4-hour again here for NVIDIA. Since earnings are tomorrow, I'll show it to the public, not just my private. And look at what the 4-hour again is doing right before earnings, guys. It's breaking back above a level, trying to flip the arc to a support. What does that mean? Does it really want to go to 163? Does it? I don't know. But what I was saying in my group, I'm like, I actually mentioned this yesterday. I'm like, this zone right here is a really good opportunity if you want to take that. And it did get there. It got there on Friday and Monday. It was there, right? And this was a superb opportunity for NVIDIA because now I think it wants to go higher. But I really wished it would have got back down to 134, but I'm not sure. But this 4-hour again, I think, is telling a story. And I think the story is telling that it wants to gravitate to 164.
I go 4-hour chopsticks down there.
Yeah.
From the week we just had. What do you call it?
Yeah.
But a tweezer bottom.
But this linear GAN has really been super symmetrical. Like this blue level, really important level. Orange level, really important. The 45, important. And now it's breaking out. So
right,
I couldn't be more bullish on it before earnings. I think it's going to do very well.
All right, everyone burn that 162 horizontal GAN line in your brain, and then Matt, switch me over. So my NVIDIA chart, this is the same target I've had for weeks now. After this wave 1, wave 2, I'm sorry, subwave 1, subwave 2, I see it going to 182.63 next, but look where my support's going to be. It's going to come back to 162.19. So this, oops, do that. This 100% support level, it's going to be resistance before it flips to support, runs up to 182.63, tests back to it again for support, 162.19, and then goes on up to at least this 200% because it's kind of been doing a 764, 236, 1236, 100. Oh, this should be 2236. Why are you not 2236? This is where it should be going, 269, 22. And I don't know, maybe it'll get like super extended and might extend to the 2618. Why does it say two? All these things are a fib off. Anyway, yeah, it should at least go to 270, I'd say. So look for resistance at 162. It gets over it to 182, comes back to 162, and then heads on up to 270, 269.22. That is my NVIDIA chart. And as far as like what this week and earnings and whatnot, let me see. Are we close enough to a wave 4? This is definitely a 1-2 inside of this. Like that was nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyeballing it, I'd say, why wouldn't it run to 162? Maybe it approaches the 100%, but can't quite get there, so then it falls back over. And then we get a retest of 141 as support. Yeah, so look for, I don't know, something like this. So if whatever happens on Thursday, maybe it sells off, or the end of day Wednesday, runs up to here, sells off, and then goes back up again. Maybe it does that actually it does like in the same like hour, right? We've seen that before, where it just like runs all the way up and then sells off during the meeting minutes, and then slowly starts to make its way back up again. All right, that's all I got for NVIDIA. But you don't have to trade this. Don't trade any of that. Just hang on to your NVIDIA and your NVDL and wait for 182.63. And that is my TA for NVIDIA.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll talk about NVIDIA a little bit, and then we can.
Yeah, you will.
And we can. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. And so basically, I'll tell you where I think we are at this cycle. This is the monthly Ichimoku cloud. And basically, you've seen 3 different cycles here: cycle number 1, cycle number 2, and cycle number 3. Not to be confused with cycles. We are 3 cycles, but we also have 3 cycles here. So you can see that each of the cycle, whenever it gets to the point where it might be starting to get a little bit tired, you actually have the baseline and the conversion line actually start to expand here a little bit, right? I still think that the cycle where we are, the cycle right now, where things just kind of went sideways here for like 4 or 5 months, is very similar to where we are over here. It's very similar to where we're over here. And you start like right around the area, you start to get like the expansion of the base and the conversion. Right here, you start to get like a really nice expansion of the base and conversion, and we're doing the same thing right now, right? So it looks like it wants to go for exhaustion. It looks like it wants to keep going up higher and burn this whole like bull market up higher. That's what it looks like. Are we overextended right now? No. I mean, like I think we were over here. But right now the base, the conversion line is going up higher. It just looks like a pretty normal bull market. Like it looks like it wants to just keep going up higher, like it did over here, right? So a couple of things too. Do I think that we're starting to get a little bit of exhaustion? Yes, because we did have the low Bollinger Band now coming back from all the way from like the ground and it's rising up again, right? You can see it visibly now. And that gets me a little bit concerned. Maybe we're at the stage of the cycle where it's like very similar to here, where the bullish band just kind of came back and getting closer, started to contract here a little bit. So we're saying that, over here to here, that was a lot of gains, right? Like it's like a 5x or here. It's like almost like a 12x from here to here so far, right? Or 10x, I guess I should say. And then over here is like a pretty crazy amount of gain. I guess from here to here is like about like 50 cents all the way to like $3. That's a lot. I can't even do math. I guess like 6x, right?
Wait, you said you're a cat that could do math.
I just did it. 6x, right? So so when we hit this level where you have like the Bollinger Band start to kind of come back and contract, when we're hitting this level where that's happening, we may make another like 3x over here, right? From here to there. It's not going to be like this crazy move anymore. Maybe additional move up here. From here to here, maybe another 2.5x. So I think from here to here, I'm thinking maybe another like 2.5x. That's kind of what I'm thinking until some kind of correction happens. Now, does it have to be all the way correcting like this, where it's like down 70, 80%? Does it have to go from like down here where it's like 60%? I don't know, right? But I just see that the trend's starting to exhaust. Can you start having another like craziness where you have a big God candle and the Bollinger Band start to expand all the way back to the ground again? That's also possible, right? That's not what the cycle behavior of what it was showing in the past, but it's possible. Are we overextended right now on the Bollinger Band on monthly? No, it's probably wanting to gravitate to the upper Bollinger Band by earnings. That's my best guess. I'm a fool. I can't predict earnings. I don't know. The upper Bollinger Band right now is 153.49. I bet earnings is going to be good. One reason to, and if it's not, that's fine. But I just see this ticking off kind of behavior, very, very similar to what Bitcoin's doing right now. We are underneath a resistance at the 2.272. So maybe it gets rejected and come back down. Maybe it goes down like $20 or something like that, which I don't think it will. It's still a very, very nice bull trend. It's still probably going to end up having some bullish continuation up. I'm going to zoom out here. This is a logarithmic Gann chart that I have here on the monthly, 750 and 5, right? You can see that ever since the history of NVIDIA, this Gann chart has shown some really beautiful market symmetry, especially towards the last 10 years or so. Really over here during the last 3 cycles, it's been showing some really beautiful market symmetry, right? Cycle number 1, it didn't really hit the arc over here, but it did come back to this horizontal level. And then it pushed through, and I had a hard time during the cycle to push through this arc over here. Eventually, is able to push through, and it got to the horizontal level up here, right? And that's when the cycle ended, right? Came back all the way back down, back tested the arc over here. I'm not sure if that's back test going to happen, but what are we having right now? We have 4 months kind of stuck underneath this arc over here, right? Very similar morphology over here. We broke through. So when we break through, where do you think it's going to go? It's probably going to gravitate up here, maybe to the horizontal. Where's the horizontal right now? Around 350, which happens to be at like the 3 level at the logarithmic Fibonacci extension level. But we are underneath the resistance, so I don't know how to predict what earnings is going to do. I never do. I don't care. I look at trend. I look at monthly charts, right? So earnings don't really matter. I think it's going higher over the next maybe 12 months or so. And it's probably, if it doesn't hit the 350, it's probably going to at least hit the 21618 around like 227.99. This is around to like 228 minimal. That's kind of where I'm thinking this cycle, but probably going to hit 350, 355, somewhere up here. Does it go higher during this bull market? It depends on how impulsive things get again. I just, based on the last 2 cycles, I think that's probably where we're going to end up. And that's still a lot of gains to be had. And if you're on like, double leverage NVIDIA, I think it's still going to do, pretty decent moving forward. So that's what I think about NVIDIA. I'm sticking with it. Oh, meanwhile, I'm going to show my Bitcoin chart here too, since I've been talking about Bitcoin. Just real quick, this is my Gann. It looks pretty much exactly the same as NVIDIA. During the last cycle, it, instead of kind of underneath, is kind of like testing from like up top here, right? And then it just kind of broke. It didn't quite get to this arc up here, but before that, you can see like how this arc over here got hit, this arc over here got hit, and then this arc finally got pushed through, and you gravitate up to the next arc, right? And then here you back tested an angle here. Angle here was holding until it broke down, And then here, what we've been doing over here for the last few months, very similar to NVIDIA, except that instead of being underneath the arc here, we're above of it. We're just kind of riding down the arc here. And right now you've got some flight behavior. You're just like taking down slope and like, it's kind of similar to like what it did over here. Oh, COVID, never mind. So I think it's doing something very similar. And to me, the level that I'm seeing here on the GAN is like 200,000. To be precise, I think maybe like 207,000. Do I think it's going to hit the arc up here to cycle? I don't know. I mean, that's just too insane. I'm not going to say that it's going to do that, but I think it's probably going to be like 200,000. If it hits like 300,000, great. Maybe it overshoots that a little bit. Who knows? Maybe it overshoots here a little bit. Or undershoots here that cycle. Who knows? But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now for Bitcoin.
All right, very good. There is a question I see. Should they load pre-market NVDL or regular NVIDIA? I mean, I don't think we advocate ever just loading up before earnings. I think it's just we're always about the momentum plays, and the momentum is in our favor for the longer term. And I don't think any of us, unless maybe Tracker does, we don't really play earnings for earnings. We just play the trend. But right now, the trend is setting up kind of nicely for an uptrend continuation. So if you want to play it for the trend, great. For the earnings, we don't really do that, and we don't ever recommend that to our followers. So
yeah, it's a big gamble going to earnings. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, because it could very well hit resistance and get rejected hard, or it could end up dumping, and next thing you know, like it just reverse, like you never know. We're not doing like short term day trading for the most part. So.
Go hog wild, go NVDLXL. Yeah, that's exactly translation, guys. Go extra heavy. Yes. No, we're joking.
Oh wow. I think like QQQ is also waiting. Like, and QQQ is already broken out, by the way. I think like we talked about it earlier. So I think NVIDIA is probably going to follow. It's my best guess. It's just kind of stuck underneath resistance. It's probably going to follow, but who knows? We never know about earnings. I'm happy where we are right now in terms of the show. I mean, like if you guys want to talk more, you can.
I think we're good. I mean,
I was going to try to do a let's see. The very first request was for DAPP, and
yeah, they're just comparing DAPP and the WGMI. They're the same chart.
Oh, you guys did that already.
Yeah, they're the same chart. Like, and then somebody. Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple that they requested that we haven't done yet. APLD. Honestly, I think I have a can here for some reason. 360 and 1. It's probably going to end up keep gravitating up towards the arc here. It's going to see how it's going to react up here around like the $10 to $11 to $13 range. See how it reacts, but it's getting closer and closer to resistance. Overall, it's doing some pretty chopping sideways. I don't really know if I really have a trend here, but if you pull the 20-month moving average, you're going to see that the bull trend is intact. And I already knew that by like just eyeballing. Like it's basically just back testing the 20-month moving average. It looks like it probably wants to push up to the arc, up higher to like this range. It's probably going to end up hitting some resistance. Probably going to go sideways here before breaking out because the 20-month moving average is going positive. So I'm going to like leaning a little bit more bullish on it. That's what I kind of think about that. Snow I already kind of did on my live stream the other day on Saturday. I don't know what it's going to do. It's got a trident here. It might bottom. It touched the Bollinger Band. It might bottom, but who knows? It just made a lower low. And the 20-month moving average is a little bit flat here, but you're still way above. Like if you want to trade this thing, I totally see it retracing back to the mean to like 150, and it could get rejected, and it might end up making a higher low. It might make a lower low. I don't know what it's going to do. If you're looking for any potential things that I would normally look for in terms of, I'm not really seeing any bullish divergence here on the monthly. And on the weekly, I'm also not really seeing any convincing bullish divergence. So like this is not one volume like that I would catch at this time for Snow. There's another request for S, which is I think Sentinel-1. It's a bull trend. What can I say? On the monthly, you got some really nice 20-month moving average curling up, and the up moving trend is also up. It's nowhere near being overextended. It can go up to $30. It can go up a lot higher. This is a bull trend. I don't really care what is necessarily going to do in the short term. I even have a Fibonacci level drawn here for you already on the log scale. You got rejected at 0.5. Right now, you make its way back to the 0.382. This increases the possibility of it touching 0.618 next, which is around $38.83. We'll see what it does after that. But it's a bull trend. That's all I have to say. Tracker, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, well, not on that one. I did. I can tell you exactly where DAPP is going. If you throw my chart up there, Matt, it's simply doing an ABC retrace back to 61.8% of this move from 3304 down to 252. And look, it already did the A, the 38.2, B to the 23.6. So it's heading for C right here at $21.38. That's where it's going right now. And currently it's at $18.11. After that, it should do like a little bit of consolidation, and maybe you can build this into a 1, 2, and then into wave 3. But yeah, look for 21.38 next on DAPP. I'll I'm that one trick pony. I can do this all day long. You just call out any
targets.
You want, I can tell you where
I'll leave my restream up all night, Tracker, and you can go to town on it.
I know, right?
But there is a question about HUT 8 about underperformance too. I don't know if we touched on
HUT 8. How do you do? There we go. Well, you guys can talk about what you think. Oh, I've got a chart for HUT 8. Let's see. I think it's going to. I need to go to the weekly chart. There it is. Once again, retracing from the all-time low back towards the all-time high. The 61.8% fib would take us right to $52.69. We're down here at 25. It hasn't made it to the A yet. So the next resistance level is going to be $34.06. Then it'll test back to 22.53. Then up to 52.69. I'll move this a lot closer. You can take your screenshot right there. Level A is $34.06. Back to the B at $22.53, and then the wave C tops up at $52.69, and then it does have to do like a little bit of a retrace, and then can build a larger degree 1, 2, and maybe build 5 waves up from there. But look down here at the MCDX Plus. It's definitely got, whales are buying in.
Well, I see HUT 8 pretty bullish actually. So.
Yeah, HUT 8 actually is overperforming recently compared to other miners.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Let me just show you my chart real quick. Like, why is it doing bad? It's a higher high. It's a higher high than what it was ever, basically all of 2023 and 24. I mean, just the perspective of this, it's like it's not bearish. It's just under the 618, the 2578, but literally it's higher than it's ever been for the past like couple years. So why is it underperforming? Well, that's because it was overperforming for the last month. There we go.
Oh, Kim Appreciate Life says you guys make learning TA so much fun. Well, one Tracker had a Mr. Bill moment. Oh no! You guys remember Mr. Bill? You have no idea who Mr. Bill is.
Bill and Ted, Excellent Adventure. Yeah, I remember that.
No, it was old SNL, Saturday Night Live. There was this little sketch with a claymation. It was a little clay figure. It wasn't claymation. Named Mr. Bill. And they had these little shorts. They're very popular. I think there were only like 2 or 3 of them, but everyone remembered them. Mr. Bill. And he would go, "Oh no!"
that was not the "oh no" that you had. That was definitely a lot more tragic.
Oh no!
It was more passionate, but I got the Cantonese cat litter box P indicator that tells me that we should probably end the show.
Thank you guys so much.
It's overloaded.
Overloaded.
I'm gonna explode. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! All right, guys. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow morning, Tracker, at 7 or 8:30 your time. Yeah.
Yep. I'll be here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with this morning. This evening. Oh wait, let's get one thing straight. I'm here for the entertainment and banter first. TA second. Thanks, DK. We are too.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
right?
thanks, guys. Yeah, you guys are weird. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Right, until next week, for the triumvirate, I'm the Tesla Tracker, and the Cantonese Cat, and the Great Matsby. Matt and I will be back tomorrow morning with our regular morning session.